Maybe she got some friends. What's her name? What's her name? I don't know her name.
Well, hey,
Right,
we are
welcome back
live.
for another episode of Velvet Puffs Live.
Woo-hoo. We have an exciting show today. We have an awesome guest, but we will start with our drink and cigar of choice. I am going to start with my cigar. I'm going to do a mocha latte, which is so good I could probably eat it, and then I'm going to pair it with a JF Hayden's espresso. Very good. And I'm actually putting it in my coffee. So don't y'all judge me because I'm drinking coffee this late at night. But it is actually really, really good. It's a part of the Twin Peak series for their wine and spirits. And it is very, very tasty. Zach, what are you having?
All righty. So tonight I'll be smoking the Velvet Puffs Velvet D'Amour, our medium body cigar. And I'm going to pair that with Angel's Envy Bourbon. So we're going to see what that's all about.
Okay.
So with no further ado, I'm going to cut up before I light up.
Yeah, I've already cut mine. And you ain't giving no fancy little doodah this time.
What's that?
The lighter.
Oh, yeah.
I had my own lighter last time. Now I got to share. Ain't that something? But all right, so we're going to just light up. We're going to drink up, and then we will get started with our show. We have an awesome guest today. And I got my phone. He gave me his resume.
You got the bio this time.
And it's not long.
So while she's doing that, I'm going to bring our guest in, and I'll light up while she's doing that.
Okay, so we're going to bring our guest on in. Here you go. Okay, and so this we have today is Coach Leroy Frederick. He's the coach at Alcorn State University. He's the assistant head coach there. He's been coaching for over 20 years on the junior high level and the high school level and the junior college level. He's coached at Fort Scott Community College and Hutchinson Community College, and they're both in Kansas. And he's also coached at Pearl River Community College. He had a spell at Stillman.
The SC, baby.
And the championship winners for our state university. I hope I didn't. Okay, on people.
Need to pay our internet bills.
Don't do that. I done paid
it. There's a few little buffering issues.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, I'm here now.
On his side.
Can you hear me?
Look like that. Bear with us in the technical difficulties.
I'm here.
One notch.
Can you hear me?
I'm right beside them.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Hold on, y'all.
Bear with us.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
That's why I hate technology.
All right, let's try this again. Sorry about the technical. Come on, man.
Okay. You see us, Coach?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, damn. What is really going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can. Okay. Well, so let the word be known. I did pay the bill. What the hell?
It's still on.
What
Just go
the?
ahead. Just look at this.
Oh, well, I can't see the screen. Can you see me, Coach?
Yeah, I see y'all.
Can... Lord have mercy.
Can y'all see me?
The sound guy myself.
Wait, what happened?
I turned the sound off and then turned the TV off.
Okay, well, hold on.
Can y'all see me?
We coming.
Oh, Lord.
We coming. You gotta get in front of the camera.
Where the camera? Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right, you come on back. We
Okay.
back. We back.
Jesus.
Hopefully.
Well, damn.
Look, that's why you're supposed to work out all the bugs. For some reason, internet is low today. Not sure why. We're gonna lose our followers before we started.
No, you're not. Don't say that out loud. Is Coach still on there?
He's still on there.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Is he muted?
Okay. All right. Ooh, child, this is.
We're gonna try to navigate our way through this thing as best as we can.
I'm not the tech person.
Well,
I don't know nothing about this stuff.
for some reason, we're lower than normal on bandwidth, even though we stream out here all the time. So we're just gonna run with it, man. We're gonna try to make it work.
Let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
Well, did I butcher your introduction up enough, Coach?
No, just
Okay,
fine.
well, I did your intro. I don't know if you heard it or not. I listed all your schools that you coached. I put in there that you won in 2014 the national championship of Alcorn State University. I did mention that. And so we'll let you take the floor and you can tell us what you're smoking on. We're going to start with the smoke first. What are you smoking on today?
Oh, man, for this occasion, I figured I might as well go with the Velvet Puff Barber Pole. And
Of course. Well, of course.
go with Velvet Puff Barber Pole. And I'm going with the Twin P whiskey with it. Just to coattail with you with the J.F. Hayden's. It's the same company that makes that. They also make the whiskey. They also have a vodka. And then they do liqueurs, which is a part of the espresso. What you have there, they have key lime, they have lychee, mango, orange.
Oh, yeah, I want to definitely try that.
Yeah, so we'll get you all that. And I guess as we go into the show, we'll unveil how it all kind of ties in together here in a minute. But here's a great show.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. You could have had I forgot it. But anywho, on to the next. So thanks for coming on, Coach. You know, we met you last year at an event in Natchez, and you've invited us to your podcast, the Common Man Podcast. And so you want to just kind of tell our viewers a little bit more about your podcast and how you started your podcast and all the details of what goes into your subjects that you talk about?
Yeah, so we met, I guess that was maybe a year ago, a little over a year ago, at an event in Natchez. Someone told me to come. There was going to be cigars there, and just so happened that the cigars there were you guys, and exchanged information, got some cigars from you. Didn't stay there that day. I remember it was very windy, so I didn't stay there that day and actually smoke because it was very windy when we were there. Got back home and was like lit up and was like, oh, okay, some pretty good stuff right here, you know. So From there, got in contact with you guys as we were launching our podcast at the Cigar Lounge, Don Cigavellos in Vicksburg. And what we were wanting to do was highlight Black-owned businesses and just kind of put the spotlight on businesses within the area. And then you guys kind of fit the bill. Cigar Lounge, cigar makers. Hey, let's put it together. And that's kind of how it came about. I think y'all are froze.
Okay, Coach, we having some technical difficulties over here. I missed the whole spiel because this thing it's bumping on our side.
Long story
So
short,
I don't know, is it bumping on your side?
Yeah, y'all were froze, man. But long story short,
Yeah.
we were just trying to put together something that would be interesting for the common person, which is why it's called Common Man. And we wanted to put highlight on Black-owned businesses, and you guys are Black-owned, and we were doing it at a cigar lounge. So why not do it at a cigar lounge with a cigar company?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it came about. And from there, we just kind of kept in contact, and you guys invited me back.
Search. Well, I was actually pretty nervous. That was my first time being on TV, but I enjoyed it. See,
Can you hear me?
oh, is it buffing?
Can you hear me? What about now?
Looking for the yeah, just type Wi-Fi in. Yep.
Can you hear me?
What other networks?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're trying to switch from this Wi-Fi to the hotspot.
Okay,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, loud and clear.
Okay, just give us 1 second. We're trying to flip it from the Wi-Fi to the hotspot. Or can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hold on. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but we're not going to burn the whole hour trying to figure it out.
I'm assuming all you had over the
But um,
I don't know if y'all can hear me, but while they straighten that out, we're gonna go on and toast this up. Again, it's called the barber pole because it has the different shades of wrappers on it, just like the barber pole. Again, I don't know if anybody can hear me or not, but we're gonna keep it moving. So, the way I toast is I like to take the flame to mine, and I rotate it more so than the cigar. Some may tell you that's not how to do it, but that's how I do it. I rotate the flame and instead of the cigar, mainly because when I did probably my first cigar, I was rotating the cigar and I dropped it on my favorite pair of sweatpants. So put a hole in it, had to discard those. So now this is just kind of how I do it. Want to make sure it's nice and toasty. You want to make sure you got a nice red middle there. Burn as evenly as possible so you don't run into canoeing issues where you still have wrapper here, but it's burned into there. So, you kind of want to stay away from that. Try to burn light toast, however you want to put it, as evenly as possible to avoid that. So you have a chance to enjoy the full cigar and you don't have to continue to keep relighting to keep it even. So I would let them tell you more about the barber pole, but it changes with each shade. You get a different smoke, meaning a different taste, which makes these type of cigars very unique in the experience that you get when smoking a barber pole type of smoke. Normally, I pair my cigar with a whiskey or a bourbon, and every now and then, depending on what I'm smoking, I may get a beer, normally a import, like a Heineken, Red Stripe, Modelo, something like that. Just kind of depends on what I'm smoking, where I'm at, what the mood is. I also do a wine with it, more of a red wine with my different cigars, just to kind of keep the pairing the way it is. You always want to get something that makes you comfortable, not them, so to speak. So what you do is what you do. Don't let anybody's cigar shame you. What you do is what you do. So for me, if I did like a Moscato, it would be more of a sweeter cigar, more like an acid type of thing, or a Velvet Kiss, since we're talking about Velvet Puff, something like that with a sweeter wine, sweeter taste. And it's to each his own. So you may not be a full body person. Full body is one of those that's a really strong cigar. I would suggest if you took a full body cigar that you ate before you partake in that cigar, just because it's a strong cigar. And if anybody's ever dipped, if you remember your first time dipping, they didn't quite tell you how to dip. They just gave you the dip. So I still remember my first time dipping. No one told me not to swallow at all. And I probably swallowed half and came out with the other half. And by the second inning of that baseball game, yeah, I wasn't feeling well. Okay. I was trying to keep it entertaining, keep it moving.
Now listen, I don't know what is going on with this internet out here. I don't know if it's because of the storm yesterday, tree limbs down. I don't know. But I appreciate you for staying on and entertaining our people for us. And we got 10 people watching. So I'm so glad you stayed on.
I'm trying to keep it moving. Ain't no doubt.
Work it out, man. So we're actually on the iPad right now. I don't know what's going on with the regular internet.
I don't know.
But we just gonna press through as best we can.
Yeah. So I don't know how far you gotten or what you talked to the people about. So I assume you've already talked about your Common Man podcast. And I know our in-studio guest had a question. Because I know when you talk about your podcast, you guys talk about football and all things HBCU and things of that nature. So I don't know if I need to wait for him to come back in or I just need to ask the question. Well,
that season two will be more of that. Season one, which you guys were a part of, we were highlighting local businesses, Black-owned businesses. Just wanted to get kickoff on it. But while you guys were gone, I was kind of going through Cigar 101 on toasting and pairing and stuff like that. But now that we're back, as far as the podcast goes, we're every Wednesday at 5 right now, once a week.
Okay.
And with that, again, we'll be more focused football-wise in season 2. And that's more into just kind of pulling people behind the curtains, letting them know, because a lot of people only see what happens on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Now we kind of want to give them the insight on what leads up to Saturday.
Okay.
And we thought it'd be a great point to start now in the spring with spring football, right into summer conditioning, right into the season. So season 2 may be a run-on season, not necessarily how you go 12 episodes and that's the end of the season. So season 2 may be a run-on episode all the way to December when we get to Atlanta playing for the national championship. So that's the goal. That's where we're at right now. Okay, as they froze up again, I'm good. We're gonna keep it moving. The point that we like to make when you go to cigar events, if it's your first time, get comfortable. Don't feel like you have to do with what everybody else is doing in the lounge. Get comfortable and do what suits you. Again, I would advise you to do just a little research on it so that you can have an idea of where you want to start. Because I can't tell you where to start, nor should you want me to tell you where to start. I can make suggestions, and I think from there, you have to choose and pick what best suits you as your starter and where you want to start at. My cigar journey has been kind of all over the place, and I want to put together a strap book. I was looking for it, so I got a bunch of the labels I tear off from different smokes because I just want to build it, and I want to look back at some point to see, man, how all over the place I've been, and settle in on one particular type of cigar, and just kind of ride that out. But right now, I'm just kind of all over the place with what I do. I have my go-tos, but then again, I will try something out of the ordinary just to see, and kind of go from there with it. While they fix that, man, if you got any questions, man, put them in the chat. I'll keep it rolling, and we'll go that way. So if you have any questions, just put them in the chat, man. While they're working that out, we'll get it fixed. We'll get the questions. We'll get your questions answered. Somebody says, "What is dipping?" So sometimes you can go to certain lounges, and they may take the tip of your cigar, and they may ask you what you want them to dip it in. So like this is whiskey, Crown, Twin P, Crown Royal, bourbon, whatever it is, and they will dip the tip in the cigar for you. And when you light it up, as you pull, you should be able to taste what exactly you dip the cigar in. So that's what dipping is. Any other questions? Keep them coming while we fix out the technical difficulties.
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. So we're going. Okay, so what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say. Because I don't with the internet out here.
Well, you keep working on it. I got some questions coming through. We working it out.
Okay.
Particular brand that I prefer. Yeah, I'm Velvet Puff, and then if I can't get to Velvet Puffs, I like to go with the Foundation Upsetters. But I'm Velvet Puff, Foundation, and then I'll mess with Drew Estates as well. But not to blow smoke. No pun intended, because we smoking cigars. But if you guys haven't had a chance, if you fool with Drew Estates, Fat Bottom Betty, Girl with No Name.
Oh, that's my girl. See, you done hit it on the head now, Coach.
Yeah, you need to fool with my people right here, Velvet Puffs. They have a Velvet Kiss that is very, 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 very good, and very similar to that road, if that's what you like. When we're talking about brands, we're talking about taste, easy to pair, and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna turn it back to y'all, because what I've been doing is just cigar 101 while y'all fix that. So we back to it.
Sound like we owe you some commission.
We back to it.
Well,
use QR code 2121 when you want to order. That way they know that I sent you, and we'll go from there.
Right.
I'm just playing. Having a good time. Having a good time.
We appreciate you trying to fill in the void for us, man.
Yeah.
With all this technical difficulties we had going on. I guess I was trying to be too fancy over here. Something I had it hooked up to the TV and all this old stuff. I guess sometimes less is best.
Yeah, simple is better. But anywho, we're glad that you.
One thing we will say, we definitely appreciate you supporting and helping put the name out there. So you're probably one of our I won't say the biggest supporter, because we got quite a bit of support. I don't want to offend my family members, because they're my number one buyers. But as far as just putting the name out there, I notice every morning or every other morning you have one of our sticks with your coffee or whatever you do when you do your little post or whatnot. So we appreciate you just putting that name out there for us, man, and helping people know who we are.
That was when I was on vacation. So you know, when I'm on vacation, that's kind of how I start my day. Rather it be with the nub that you guys offer, or you know, something short. I'll pair it up with the coffee, the caramel macchiato, you know, the white chocolate mocha or whatever, and I'll try to pair it up the cigar, and then I'll just sit there and watch the morning turn into afternoon, and kind of go from there. So yeah, that was vacation time. So I can't wait to get back to that here in a couple of weeks for spring break.
Okay. Well, kicking off about spring. I know you guys have your spring game coming up. When will that be? And we need the time as well, because I need to know what time to be there.
So the spring game is April 5th, that Saturday, and it's a 2:00 for us. But prior to that, we'll have a little league team from Florida playing a little league team from Fayette, the Fayette Bobcats versus the Fort Lauderdale Brick City Boys. So they will be playing before us that April 5th. I think their game starts at like 11, and then our game's at 2, the actual spring game.
Okay.
And then also with that spring game, we have Junior Day. And Junior Day is where high school juniors, seniors to be, come out, introduce themselves, meet the coaches, take a campus tour. It's kind of like an early recruiting pitch. So they'll have an opportunity to come out, see the campus, see the players, see the game, interact with everybody, and kind of go from there. And then the highlight of it is that, you know, Velvet Puff's going to be on site.
We will be there. See, and I just put that little plug out there because I didn't know what time everything was going to start. So I wanted to make sure we was there on time.
We're going to make sure you had to know.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we were there on time and not running late and all that good stuff. But I'm super excited about the spring game. My studio guest, he had a question, but he went back inside for a minute. So we were looking at your schedule, and we see you guys are going to play Mississippi State.
Yes.
So that's
we
September
there.
the 13th.
Yep. We travel to Starkville.
State.
Yep.
So how do you feel about that, Coach? I mean, how do you feel about playing SEC?
That's going to be a tough uphill battle for us. But when you're in the business, man, you operate on the principle that anything is possible. You just have to, you have to show up. But the main thing is, we want to see our kids go out there and compete. We want to see them take the opportunity to play in front of an SEC 80-something thousand, crowd, and make the most of it. The main thing is making sure you show up and you compete, and you don't, you don't take a back seat, and we just throw it out there. And at the end of it, we see what happens and we go from there. But we hope that they are really excited about that.
I think y'all gonna do good. I really think y'all gonna do. Now, I went to Mississippi State.
I know.
We ain't been looking too hot.
That's why I said we may be a year late. Like if we had caught y'all last year, we might have had an opportunity to.
I don't know. Going into this new.
We'll say all corn by 40.
I'll drink to that.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna watch. Hopefully, I'll be there. I hadn't gone to any of the football games. I didn't go any last year, so this may be a game that I definitely, will want to go to.
I think we may be their first game. I think we may be their first home game, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So I think it'll be a pretty festive crowd.
Because it's gonna be in Starkville. So, because everybody says the only game that matters is when they play Ole Miss. But come on now, don't start bluffing now.
So I know in most cases when you play up to the next level, this is considered a money game. Right. So is that the case in this case, or is it more of an exposure type situation?
It's both. This is a money game, but
or both.
We've got to attack it as an exposure thing as well. Again, meaning that, you know, everybody here at some point in time thought that they should be there. So this is your opportunity to show that you should have been there. They missed. They didn't find you. Alcorn finds you, but you need to show them what they missed. So that's the exposure piece of it. And then, you know, again, when you get a chance to go out and play in front of 70, 80,000 people, and, you know, this new climate of college football, you never know who's there. And you go out and you have yourself a game, you never know. Some big corporation guy may want to enter into a deal to where he may want to have you on and be part of the face of his company in an NIL situation. So, you know, it's an in-state game. A lot of in-state money will be there. So you want to put your best foot forward. And, you know, who knows what happens at the end of it. Maybe somebody remembers your name, you graduate, you go fill out that job application. Maybe that's your opportunity to get a job somewhere.
Okay. Do we have a question?
No, that's just.
Oh. Okay, we trying to read the comments. Trying to read the comments here.
To currency, you can find those Velvet Puffs on our website that's scrolling across the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so the boy said he gonna ask you the question at the spring game, Coach. I tried to get him out here, but he said he'll talk to you at the spring game.
Cool. That'd be I'll end up I'll send you a link for him to fill out, and that'll get him front row access to the spring game. So that'll be no problem.
We're still buffing over here, so I don't know what's going on with this internet. We had a storm last night, so I don't know if that had something to do with it.
You're fine.
We're waiting for the screen for Coach to pop back up to see if we can.
Oh, I'm still here.
Get him back on.
I'm still here. No? Here?
Okay. Well, are we still on?
I'm still here. Can you hear me? If somebody in the chat can hear me, just put it in chat. You can hear me. Chat, can you hear me, chat? Get my Chad Ochocinco on. Can you hear me, chat? Okay, cool. We're going to keep it rolling there, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking Cigar 101. Which one do you like as far as the LFD goes? Talk to me about that. Ladies, any ladies in here? Let's talk about it. My cigar journey started years and years ago, so to speak. So, you know, let's talk about it. And we'll go from there. So when you're talking LFD, which one do you really like? Air blender, chip cheese. Okay. I'm gonna have to try that. Are those full body or not? So as we were talking earlier, so once it gets to a certain point for me, I like to peel my labels off, and I try to peel them off very neatly. Again, like I said, I store them. I'm trying to get an old school strap book to place them in, and kind of go from there to see where I've been, as I said earlier, and kind of go from there with that. So once I take it off, try to be neat with it and kind of go from there. But when you're talking Cigar 101, and we were talking earlier before they came back in, when we were talking lounge etiquette, when you go somewhere, again, don't be intimidated because it's you. It's not about, full body. Yeah, got to have something on your stomach. Ain't no doubt about that. But when you go to the lounge, it's about you being comfortable and you having the experience that you want to have. and kind of going from there. So when I say that, when you set out to go to a cigar lounge, I'm thinking that you want to go have a relaxing time, because that's what these are. These are therapy, they're relaxation. It's kind of how that goes. So, you know, my Pamela Frederick started me smoking these. She had a party for me, and at that party, the favors were cigars. And before Twin P, I was a really big Crown guy. So she had that was paired up at the party. And from that point on, I kind of learned how. My grandfather smoked cigars. Both of my grandfathers smoked cigars. And I can remember that vividly. And from them smoking and me watching them, I always wanted to get to a point to be able to smoke cigars. I just didn't know how. One grandfather smoked the Churchills, which are very long. The other grandfather smoked nubs, and he also used a pipe. So at that point, you know, growing up, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be like my granddaddy. I'm gonna smoke cigars. And it's something about the aroma when I was growing up that kind of attracted me to it. And once I got to the age of being able to try it, I kind of didn't think about it because I was an athlete. You know, I was one of those that I didn't drink, I didn't smoke until I got out of school. So when you're talking about wanting to do something like this, I was like, I can't do it. But then once, you know, got to that party she had for me and did some research, and she's probably mad that she started me smoking because it's what I do. It's my therapy. It's my spa. And I can say proudly that unless it's really freezing, I smoke at least once a day, if not twice a day. If I'm on vacation, you know, I go ham. You know, I go in. But it's a different smoke. Oh, y'all back?
We're here.
We don't know for how long, so we're definitely
my
gonna
bad.
give you a redo for sure. Because I don't think this is giving you your due justice with all the connection problems we're having on. But when we were able to listen in and look, we're here for the class. We might as well call this the Coach Frederick Show for tonight.
Oh,
Because you had to take it over, man. I don't know what we got going on over here. It's unusual, but like I said, we did have that bad weather yesterday, so I imagine
yes, sir.
internet's down. This is probably the lowest bandwidth that we've had in some time, and it would happen tonight at all night.
Well, I have a question, Coach. I know you're talking about the cigars, but have you ever tried the pipe?
I have not.
Like the smoke the pipe?
I have not.
And I'm not talking about crack pipe.
Yeah. No, tobacco. No, I have not.
Yeah.
The only reason that I haven't, and there's a guy, so I go to a lounge in Hattiesburg, and there's a guy that comes in, and he'll do a short, a nub, and then he'll buy tobacco and he'll smoke his pipe. Mm-hmm. But like I told him, and he taught me how to do it in the whole nine. It's just like, I don't have that kind of patience to do a pipe. You got to pack it. You got to make sure it's nice and tight. Yeah, you got to make sure it's nice and tight. You got to make sure it's nice and hot. And then you got to relight it. You got to relight it. You got to relight it. You got to relight. I don't have that kind of patience. When I come to smoke, I just want to smoke. Okay. You know what I mean? And then we'll go from there. Okay. But you know, he taught me. It's definitely a how do I put it? It's definitely a sophisticated look, but it's time consuming, and it's just not something that I'm ready to kind of get into just yet. So, you know, the other part of it is learning how to smoke that pipe, as he told me. Mm-hmm. It's a little different, but it's still the same. So I just don't have the patience, Miss Betty. I just don't have the patience to start.
Yeah, I have a pipe, and we go to Country Squire. That's where we get our tobacco from, and of course, Dominique was there to help guide me and everything. And honestly, once I got the hang of it, the pipe actually is very soothing. When you talk about therapy and being therapeutic, it is very therapeutic. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but I actually like the pipe. I like it.
It's
a little
definitely
more
cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're a daily smoker, I would recommend a pipe because it's a lot cheaper than cigars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can, at the end of the day, you can still get that same effect
Mm-hmm.
For a lot more reasonable price. So you talking about buying in ounces, depending on the flavor that you get, an ounce may cost $4 or $5.
Mm-hmm.
Only cigars you can get for $4 or $5 is some Tatianas or some Cuban rejects or factory smokes or something like that. And nothing's wrong with
Right.
it.
No offense to our Tatianas.
We all started somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have a box over here for the folk that don't want to buy cigars. They have to go to the factory smoke box. That's my freebie for them.
Oh, ain't no doubt. You can't give your you got to have.
I was just wondering
smokes.
if you tried.
What's that?
I said I was just trying to see if you preferred the cigar over the pipe, if you had tried the pipe before. Because again,
Yeah, I prefer the cigar, even though I haven't tried the pipe.
I hadn't pulled it out in a while.
I haven't tried it, but in my mind,
the night we get.
Can you hear me?
It's just too much work for you. I understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can.
It ain't you. It's probably us. But look, the night we finally get some people invited on, we got a little 12 viewers. So we got people tapping in. My boy Al tapping in from Chicago. My brother-in-law tapping in from Dallas, Texas. So we had some people ready to watch us, man. We just got this little connection issue tonight, but we're gonna make
All right.
up for
It is what it is.
This is
You know
just the
how it
first
goes.
minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna work out all the kinks.
And I'll meet you. You going down 49 Friday, Coach?
Yeah. So finishing up some stuff on my way.
Will you be going down 49 on Friday?
Yes.
Okay. Call me. I'll meet you down 49.
No, we're good. When
I'll
you're doing
have something for you on Friday.
Look,
it's trial and error.
Comments, it definitely looks like you've been keeping the people entertained while we sitting here stumbling, trying to figure out what's going on. And after a very good first podcast last week, we thought we would get better this week, but it went the opposite direction. It really wasn't our fault. I guess it's really just connection,
Oh yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. It's always trial and error.
Like I said, I try to get fancy and get microphones and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's trial and error,
Okay.
but you have to put it out
we
there.
can definitely do a do-over.
Right.
Yeah. Well, any other? Let me see. Were there any questions? Did anybody have questions?
I think he entertained most of those questions while we were running around with our heads cut off.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss any questions. While
So
we were
can you hear me, Betty?
distracted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
While we got connection, we got people from Memphis in here, Chicago. I think I seen Texas, Mississippi. We might as well talk about how you came up, how y'all came up with the barber pole, just the idea. So I'm re-interviewing y'all again. So let me get my interview pose on. How'd y'all come up with the idea? How'd y'all come up with the idea for Velvet Puff?
Well, the idea for Velvet Puffs, of course, we're in the shed, and this is where the guys kind of hang out. And honestly, the girls really don't have a place to go. A lot of women, they have to go to the cigar shop where the guys are. And so I'm like, okay, well, we need to create a space for the ladies. And so I was going to a local cigar shop here, and again, I'm like, okay, well, I like my cigars smooth, like velvet. And I'm like, okay, velvet, gonna puff. Okay, velvet puff. The mobile cigar thing kind of came about. You know, there are plenty of mobile cigar lounges like in Texas. I think there are a couple of in Georgia and Alabama. And so honestly, I was like, okay, I've always wanted an RV. How can I turn this RV into a money-making deal where it can pay for itself?
Pay
So
for itself,
me and the
okay.
young girl, the youngest, went and we did our homework.
As long as y'all buying, we can pay the bill.
And
so please don't stop buying.
So I did my homework. I even had a guy, like, you know, you have a realtor for houses. They have, you know, people that help you find RVs. And so I was doing my homework and saw one in Hattiesburg, and I went down on a Monday, and that Friday we were driving it home. And so that's kind of how it started. Just, you know, giving us another outlet, you know, where we could still bring a luxury experience and not really just always be here. We could travel, we can meet other people like you. We've met so many people, people that have supported us. And then a year later, I decided, okay, we need our own brand. I met a young lady. She has her own brand, Wyndham Cigars. Actually, another Black lady in Madison. I was just Googling, went to Google, and she had a phone number. I called her. People that know me, I'm just gonna call. And so I asked her, I was like, well, hey, can I meet you? And she was like, yes. And so she's been another inspirational factor in, you know, Velvet Puffs. And one thing she said, you know, why are you selling these other brands? Why don't you have your own? And I was like, girl, you don't say nothing but a word. So that's when we started, you know, doing the researches of what blends we wanted to have for our brand. And so for the barber pole is basically of all the wrappers that we have. We have the mild, medium, and full. So the barber pole is really just the intertwine of the cigars that we have. You know, the Candela wrapper is the nub, so we had to include that because, you know, Candela is, you know, some people's favorite. Is, you know, it has a distinct flavor with it. So we just wanted to create something a little different with the Candela wrapper, the Habano, and the Maduro. And so that's kind of how the barber pole came to life. So that's that. That's
so even with the barber pole, you know, of course you've seen the dual wrap barber pole. That's how most of them look.
Yeah.
So we tried to get something that was different. That's why we came with the tri wrap barber pole. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, and you probably have seen it somewhere, as you may have not, but around here nobody has it.
Well, and I want to show again.
It is one of our most popular ones too.
I want to make sure they understand what you're saying. Yeah. So we're dark, we're light, we're dark. Mm-hmm. It's three different as to where normally it may just be two. So when they say that, I want to make sure everybody understands that that's what that is with that. So we got Alabama, we got Kansas checking in.
Yeah, so like I said, three different wrappers. It does have a Candela, it does have a Connecticut, and Habano all mixed in one.
And it's a smooth smoke.
And it's one of our better sellers. Actually, I'm looking at the humidors right now, and I need to reorder the one that you have. So we have it in both sizes. We have it in a Turo and a double Turo for those that like those bigger cigars, the 60 gauges. You know, in our original three, we have three sizes in the original three: the Robusto, the Turo, and the double Turo. And since then, of course, you weren't on last week, but we have a seventh cigar that we're getting ready to introduce called the Executive. So we got one on the way to you.
So that's why I said I'll meet you down 49. I put yours in the mail today, but I can definitely meet you down 49.
And that one is a fuller body. I say that. So compared to our Lions Leaf, which is our full body presently, the executive will be a little bit higher, a little bit fuller, a little bit richer.
Yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy it. And it's not too overpowering. You know, some full body cigars can take your breath away or make your stomach hurt. It's nothing like that. But like one of the guests said, you definitely have to eat something when you're smoking those full body cigars. Or I would suggest eat it on any cigar. It doesn't matter what level of cigar it is. But if you want to get that full enjoyment of it, put some on your stomach.
Yeah. Because people have been asking. People's like, oh, you got anything just a little bit stronger? And so when you ask, we deliver. So now we'll be coming up with the executive. I don't know when we're going to launch it.
Definitely.
We'll come up with a date.
You cut out on us then. I don't know what happened. What did you say on that last little part?
I think I may be delayed.
Just a little bit.
Am I delayed?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think I may be delayed. Nah, they froze again. But as you know, okay. When cutting, y'all with me? Y'all froze.
I can hear you. I don't know if
okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So again, I feel like I took this over, but anyway.
No, you did not.
You had to, because you saved us.
But anyway, when y'all go out and about, for the ladies that are in the conversation, and for the fellas, what is your biggest seller for ladies, and what is your biggest seller for guys?
Well, it just kind of depends. A lot of the ladies like the Velvet Kisses because it has the sweeter tip. But because we have the flavored cigars, a lot of the ladies like the flavored cigars as well. And our men do too. Now, I'm not going to front. A lot of our guys like the Wild Blue. They like our Kentucky Rain and Honey Maple. Psychedelic was really popular too.
Psychedelic kind of has like an acid feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with any cigars, that psychedelic would be comparison to an acid.
Yeah.
Maybe like an acid blondie or what's the red one? Not the red one, the blue one. Maybe an acid Cuba.
Yeah.
Cuba.
You know, so it has that distinct taste like that.
Yeah. But the ladies, I mean, they love the flavors, especially for our ladies that are just now getting into cigars. You know, everybody talks about the Tatiana, which we have nothing against Tatiana, but the South Beach is the best. It comes with flavors that Tatiana doesn't have, like the strawberry, has the mango, it has the latte and the espresso mint. So it has a lot of flavors that the ladies they really enjoy. So that's like one of the top ones. For our guys, I would have to say probably the Barber Pole and the Velvet d'Amour.
Really, from the medium body on up.
Yeah, I mean,
it really just depends on the person. So all of them sell very well. Most of our clients are medium to full body people. Then when we get the new clients, they be like, "Oh, I'm not used to this. What you got mild? What you got light?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we refer them to the velour, which is our mild smoke. But on the contrary to the Tatianas, our flavors are actually medium body cigars.
Yeah, they are medium. They're not mild at all. So when people smoke the South Beach, they're really smoking a medium. So we're really starting you out. And I tell them all the time, you know, if you want a Tatiana, that's fine. But when you come to Velvet Puffs, we're gonna educate and we're gonna elevate. So we try to, you know, try you something different every time you come. That's what we try.
My boy Al from Chicago said I need to put you on payroll. We already
I saw that.
Already working on that, Al. He earned his pay today. Look.
Yes.
Look, he earned his pay today because he definitely helped us out. He bailed us out.
I don't know who Al is, but I'm liking Al.
And of course, Yeah, he's one of my fellow Stillman alums. You know, that's my partner. That's my Ace Boone Coon. So we just celebrated our homecoming last month, and I actually got a chance to kick it with him that time. And we're trying to get together a little more than that once a year, but that one time we make up for the whole 364 days that we didn't see each other. And you know, of course, I got a blended family here. We're full of Alkanites and Jackson State Tigers and Bulldogs and Bears. Oh my. All of that. So I'm just trying to put everybody on and let you see what you see.
We might be repping that soon too, Coach. We gotta see what the boy gonna do.
So as we continue on, and I know I'm delayed, so a couple questions for you before I turn it back over to y'all. For first-time smokers, what do y'all recommend? Because we talked about that while y'all were wrestling with the internet. First-time smokers, as I was telling them, do your research, but feel comfortable with what you do or what you're doing. So when you guys go out and people hire you for these different events, what is your suggestion when someone comes up and says, hey, this is my first time, we just want to create something, I'm just trying something. What's your suggestion? First question. And then I just wanted to make sure that you understood I had the mint, and I had it with a white chocolate mocha, and those two went just like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, the only thing I would ask is if we could just get it in a bigger gauge. But I know that's tough. But if we could get it in a bigger gauge.
I might be able to help you out with that, Coach. I actually had a mint a couple of days ago, just testing it out or whatever. So I can definitely try to get that for you, just for you to sample, see what you think, what you like. I can get that for you. When you ask, I deliver. So just make sure I can definitely get that for you.
So typically, first and foremost, we try to ask, have they smoked at all? Because some people are transitioning from Black and Milds. And if they are on Black and Milds, most of Black and Milds are flavored. So we'll try to introduce them to the South Beach, a flavor that may not be too sweet, because we know Black and Milds aren't very sweet, but they are flavorful. Then if they say they don't want something sweet, then that's when we'll introduce them to that velour, which will be a mild step, for a beginner. The biggest transition from Black and Milds or cigarettes to cigars is making sure that they don't inhale.
They have a hard time.
Or those left-hand cigarettes that we know some people do smoke, you can't inhale.
Yep, they have a hard time.
And I know you retrohale a lot on your videos, and that's good practice for some that are able to do it. But for a person that's doing it for the first time, I wouldn't recommend a retrohale because it wouldn't treat you right.
For weeks.
You gotta have a few miles on your belt before you start trying to retrohale.
Yeah.
And explaining what a retrohale is, that's basically when you inhale it and blow a little bit out your nose like you would a cigarette or a Black and Mild or the left-hand cigarette, but it's not recommended for most cigars because some of them can be overpowered.
Well, and that's where Emerald Leaf comes in. They'll be coming soon for my weed smokers. Because we do get that a lot too. People's like, oh, y'all ain't got no weed? No, we don't have weed. But when you ask, I will deliver. And so that will be coming real soon. Our THC CBD hemp cigars.
So we got Brandon that said, I'm gonna put it on the screen. He says, take us to the Southern Heritage Classic with you.
Hey,
it's in Memphis.
Yeah,
and he lives in Memphis.
Ain't no doubt. I'm trying to hold because I want the big project. I want the people that are dealing with that to kind of come on one night and talk about the emergence of what we kind of got going on, which is going to tie into what we got here and what you're drinking. And that's why, you know, the attraction to you guys' brand was you are a small business, but you're Black owned, and you are in a space that's not normally known for us to be in, if that makes sense. So when you have a chance, everybody always talks about it. You know, when you got a chance to help someone, or I don't know, collab with someone and elevate it, you know, you do that. And that's kind of what the project that we have coming along. I don't want to tell too much right now until they're there and we actually have it.
Yeah.
But
And
you
look,
know, I'm
when
telling
we
you
get to
now,
that project, we're gonna make sure we have. I might have to rent some internet when we get ready to get to that project, because we want to make sure we don't have any bumps and lumps in the podcast when we talk about that. And we just kind of let people know that we have some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, but we can't say what it is just yet. But we appreciate all the support that we've gotten in just the little short time of 2 years. We've done quite a bit in a 2-year time span, and it's a lot more to do.
Because I don't sleep. I'm
And,
always thinking.
So, in
Well, Betty,
last
you
week
did
we made mention to Fred how he put us in some places.
I said you did just put coffee with a espresso liqueur. So there's no way you're going to sleep.
Right. So that's
It's
why
8
she can't
o'clock.
sleep, because right. And we're gonna go a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit past our hour, just because unless you got something else to do, because we missed about 30 minutes of your podcast. So we're gonna go just a little bit longer. But yeah, like you said, she drinking coffee at 8 o'clock at night and wondering why she can't sleep.
Well, just for the record, it's mushroom coffee. No caffeine. I know, Coach. I know. I know.
I'm a coffee drinker.
I'm not the average.
I'm a coffee drinker. I don't even know what that is, Betty. Miss Betty, I don't even know what that is.
You'll never meet another person like me. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that.
I am
I'm
a
the
coffee
original.
drinker. I am an avid coffee drinker. I love coffee.
I have mushroom coffee. I have mushroom coffee.
I don't even know how I feel about
and
that.
it's actually seven different mushrooms. It's 7 different mushrooms that's in this coffee. So yes, we'll have to talk about it.
So going back to last week when we talked to Fred, and Fred allowed us to meet you. Then when we did your podcast at Don Cigavelli, you allowed us to meet the owners of Don Cigavelli, which now we have a few of our cigars in their lounge. So it's all about the connections, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with this podcast. Is help everybody get along the way. You know, put people with other people. And like I said last week, if we can't do it for you, we can find somebody that can. So, but we appreciate you just even inviting us on last year. That was our first little podcast. So you made us little local celebrities.
I was so nervous
around here. I was on one of my other friends' podcasts a couple of weeks ago. I was just an audience member a couple of weeks ago at my friends in Cuban Links. My guy Kanor, he does a show every Tuesday, and I was just an audience member. And they gave us a little shout out on the show. And the young lady that I was sitting next to, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was sitting next to a celebrity." I'm like, "Oh, no, I ain't nothing." You know, I'm just a regular Joe. So most of the people that know me on this live that's coming, they could tell you that I've been the same guy since day one. You know, and a lot of these people that are coming now, my day one, a lot of them are family, a lot of them are friends. I'm sure a few of them are your friends because there's a few names I don't recognize. But I'm just me. I'm not looking to be I would love to get to celebrity riches, and it's going to come in due time. But we just try to navigate our way through the game, one cigar at a time, one puff at a time.
We thank you guys. Oh, look at me. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in, all our Kansas and Memphis. And don't say that to Coach. I know I don't have my glasses on.
Alabama,
Alabama. What part of Alabama are you from? Alabama, Currency,
Texas.
Mississippi.
Okay. Okay. Who on here from Texas?
Yeah, then I gotta get my good friends the Whites on. They are another mobile cigar lounge here in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good friends of ours, so I want to get them on so they can talk about their journey and how they're getting ready to transition to some new moves themselves. Got quite a few. Of course, we're not the first one here. I think Cigar Life may have been the first mobile cigar lounge in Jackson. Then you got mobile cigar lounge in Mississippi. I think she started out with like table service, pop-up tent. Now she has a school bus that's pretty nice. I haven't been on it, but I've seen it on a lot of videos. We would love to get all of them on because we all can help each other out. So same thing with my guys in Cuban Links. If they can't get a gig or go to a gig, they'll give us a call. I don't know if I can go on record and say we're their first go-to people to call when they can't make, but I feel like we are. But we want to share that same thing. As of course, people that know me know I'm a photographer as well, and I do the same thing in that photography industry. I have so many photographer friends that if I can't do something, I can recommend you to 5 or 6 other people that can, and one of them should be able to help you out. And that's what we got to get back to, helping each other out, like you mentioned earlier. So let's get this Black Wall Street thing back going. Because it can be done. And the way things are going now, we're going to have to. We're going to need our own little island in a minute.
Passport ready.
But we're not talking about politics or religion over here. We're talking about cigars, cocktails,
conversation and community.
Yes,
That's just your fourth.
Well, we having a conversation. So we don't have to talk about it.
It's crazy because I always tell people.
We again thank you all for tuning in for our podcast, for our second episode. Coach, we definitely were going to have to do a redo for you. I thank you for standing in the gap. I think what they say, for standing in the gap when we were having our technical difficulties, but we'll definitely get you back on, whenever your schedule allows you to come back on. I would love for Teddy to be on here as well, even though he went to Ole Miss. We'll try to get him on as well.
They don't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah, well, I like Teddy. He's a good guy. So again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Coach, I'll be giving you a call because I'm gonna meet you down 49 on Friday. You got something else?
I always tell people
we're not.
It's a small world, especially when you start talking athletics. But it's a smaller world when you incorporate athletics and you incorporate something that links everybody together. Sports, music, and cigars. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion. I don't care your background. It all links together. So with saying that is, I actually coached the last football season in Stillman College football season history because after that season, they shut the football program down. So I like to go on record as saying that I was the offensive coordinator and we won the last football homecoming at Stillman. They went out on me again, I think. But yeah, hey.
As soon as you get to talking about Stillman, now we get a disconnect. See how they do my little school.
But yeah, I coached the last football season in school history. We won the last homecoming in school history, which was very, very, very interesting to see. Being there in Tuscaloosa, me and my family had a great time at Stillman. That homecoming was something that was still remembered. It's something that I think everybody needs to see because when you think of homecoming, you don't think of basketball, but Stillman has a homecoming for basketball season. But the last homecoming for football was amazing to me because the whole campus was just filled, and nobody knew that was the last football season for Stillman College at the time.
And I can guarantee you 100% that I was there. So, of course, I'm a graduate of 01. So next year will be my 25th year reunion. And out of 25 years, I think I've only missed 3 homecomings consecutively. And that's the total. So I've been to 22 out of 25. Right. And I try to encourage most people to come on down. I got my guy, Shoto. He's one of my good friends. I actually took him to a homecoming with me one time. He had an excellent time. He can't wait to get back. So the good thing about, and I always describe Stillman as the Tougaloo away from home. So for those of you that are from Mississippi or know anything about Tougaloo, both schools are small liberal art colleges with the same demographic, roughly 700, 800, maybe 900 students. Private institutions, of course, and primarily women. So when I was there, we were outnumbered 15-1. You know, then when the football team came, that's when our enrollment went up double. So by the time I left in 2001, we had 1,600 students, which was a record for Stillman. And of course, we all hated to see the football team leave, and we knew that, you know, finances or whatnot didn't allow us to keep it. So we just went back to what we did traditionally, which was basketball homecomings. So with the new alumni administration that we have now, we're actually thinking about or considering maybe trying to do it during Founders Day, which is still basketball season, but it'll be a fall homecoming. So that, you know, it's not an immediate change. That's just something that's on the board to talk about. And I think it'll still do well. Because the only problem we run into with the February homecoming, of course, is Mardi Gras. And those of you know that anything about Mardi Gras know it was initiated or invented in Mobile, Alabama. So the Alabamians take Mardi Gras a lot more serious than New Orleans. Everybody thinks about New Orleans when you think about Mardi Gras, but it actually started in Alabama. So a lot of people don't come back to homecoming because of that. But it's the people that live closer by that we need to get back. We have more people that come from out of town to homecoming than the people that live right there in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, or the surrounding areas. So, but it's definitely a sight to see. I encourage anybody that can, when they have their schedules free in February, it's usually the 3rd February, or typically it's the weekend after Valentine's Day. But since Valentine's Day was on the weekend this year, they moved it to the week before, which was Super Bowl weekend, and that probably stopped a lot of people from coming then as well, because, you know, everybody has big Super Bowl shindigs or whatever. So, but it's definitely something to see. I've enjoyed every year that I ever spent there, every person I ever met there. I keep in touch with quite a few of my friends and classmates from that era. And even when I come back to homecoming, I meet the young kids, I meet the current students. They all know me for certain things, and I'm not going to talk about that on the live. But you know, it's nothing bad. But I'm the person that usually brings the party to the event. You know, so and I almost didn't go this year because we had a lot of stuff going on here at home, and my wife actually encouraged me to go, and I'm kind of glad that I did. You know, it was just a rough start to 2025 for us this year as a family, as it is for most people this year. So. But that's kind of my take on that, man. But, you know, we appreciate you fighting through these technical difficulties that we had. We're definitely going to give you a better showing on the next time. For those that were able to still hear Coach and ask the question that you asked, I hope he taught you something that you didn't know or answered the question that you did have. But this is just the beginning. This is episode 2. We plan on being here every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
So tune in.
And tune in Wednesdays at 5 for the Common Man podcast.
Yes, every Wednesday at 5. Are you still going to be at Don Cigavelli's?
Right now, we're just kind of doing it from location, just because of technical difficulties and things like that. We want to make sure that we're able to bring it consistently on Wednesdays, drive at 5, no hang-ups, that kind of thing. Someone in the chat asked, how can they support their business if they're not smokers?
We have merchandise, so you can buy a sweatshirt, a t-shirt. We can get you in some Velvet Puff gear. You don't have to smoke here, but you can definitely represent the brand. Or more importantly, just tell people about it. So send the links out, send the websites out, send the lives out. Let your friends know that do smoke that we're out here. And in most cases, we try to encourage people that we always get in situations where people say they only smoke a certain thing. So we try to give them something comparable to that cigar that they smoke. And then usually once they smoke it, they be like, oh yeah, I got to have this. And that's kind of how we win people over. Everybody has their own personal cigar that they like to smoke 90% of the time. But the thing about cigar smoking, you don't know what you like.
Right.
Until you try something else.
So that's what we educate and elevate.
And that's how we transition, like she said earlier, into just selling our brand only. Yeah, we can go out here and buy all the LFDs and the legal providers and this, that, and the other. But we get further with our own brand than we do with the other brands that are already out there. Plus, we're introducing you to something that you haven't had before.
Before y'all go, put your website up so that those people can tap in. And again, the people that tap in, make sure you use code 2121 to let them know where you got the Velvet Puff logo from.
Good. We'll have that code created before the night is over.
Right.
So we definitely give you your credit for anybody that uses 2121 after tonight.
We appreciate it,
thank
Coach.
y'all.
We really do. And everyone, again, thank you guys for tuning in and joining us. Yes, we'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have a guest next Wednesday.
So we're trying to do a combination of streaming and in person guests. So as the shows go on, we'll have people sitting here and have people on the screen as well.
Yeah, we definitely may have to do it in person next Wednesday.
But even with the in person, if the connection is not good, then that's some things you don't have any control over. But somebody's phone or something will work. So we're gonna get it out there one way or the other.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
So as long as y'all can look past those first 30 minutes that we were struggling, but Coach kept you entertained, Coach kept you informed. We appreciate your assistance, brother. We appreciate your support as always.
Thank you guys. Till next time. Woohoo!
Maybe she got some friends. What's her name? Her name is